Hello epic YouTubers, Mike here again. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience and thoughts about my Sony A7 III after using it for a year. It's not going to be super deep dive pro review of this camera, and I'm not going to be talking about any kind of a spec. I just want to talk about quick, everyday use, what I like and what I don't like about this camera. Sorry. And I know still there are a lot of people who's trying or planning on getting the Sony A7 III in 2019. Spoiler alert, I really like this camera and I think I will be using it for a while. Overall, the build quality, I've been using this camera ever since I got it a year ago, probably at least 5 times a day, going around shooting wherever I can. So far all the buttons are functional as if they're new. I didn't have anything breaking or being loose. Everything is solid at the moment. That's a good thing. Unfortunately, I heard from other Sony A7 users about their mic port malfunctioning. Fortunately, I haven't had that issue, but it was a pretty known issue for some people where their mic jack just suddenly stops working after they're using an external mic. The ergonomics, I kinda wasn't really happy with the grip. The pinky was kinda getting lost, but now I got a third-party grip on the end, which gave me room to actually more grip where I can grip it with my pinky. So after that, it's all good. One thing, weather sealing. I haven't tested my camera in an extreme weather condition like rainy day or in a desert or anything like that, but I have noticed that the weather sealing is not that great. It's because whenever I change my lenses outside, I'm pretty careful and quick about it, where I actually have the sensor pointing downwards and I quickly change the lens. But at the end of the day, when I come back and look at my sensor, I can see a noticeable dust on my sensor, and I clean it like crazy every day. But besides that, everything seems solid. The build quality is good, great. Didn't have any problem with it so far. Performance. Everybody knows that, everybody says it's a bang for the buck. All the features that it has, it's great. And I just want to talk about two main things. Autofocus and low light capability. It's amazing. So far, I love it. Autofocus for photos, eye autofocus is dead on. It's probably one of the best eye autofocus that mirrorless camera has in the market. Whenever I shoot some people, my eye autofocus 99 or 98% of the time it just locked onto their eye pretty easy. So it made my life way easier. On video, 4K, it films in 5K, it shrinks down to 4K, so the detail and sharpness of 4K is amazing on this camera. On the video mode, it doesn't have the eye autofocus, it has a face detection focus, which is, again, great. Unfortunately, on 120p slow motion footage, you don't get that feature. I don't know why, it just gets disabled. And low light, really good with low light. Photos, I actually pushed it up to 6400 and it still gave me a usable photo. And for video, I pushed it up to 12,800 and it was still usable after a little bit of a post-processing. Another thing that I really like, I know it might sound stupid, is the battery life. The new Sony battery is awesome. Like for instance, my other camera, which is Fuji X-T3, I probably need at least 4 to 5 batteries in order to last the whole day. For Sony, I probably need 2 max, depending on how much you shoot. But for me, day-to-day use, I'm okay with 1. If I'm going to go shoot like an event or a wedding, I usually take 2, and it was more than enough. So those are the good things. One thing that really disappointed me is probably personal preference, but it's the color science. Some people love it, some people don't. I feel like the skin tone on Sony is a little bit too magenta or reddish. I don't know, it seems a little bit too red in my eyes. It's a personal preference, but which is also, you know, able to correct in post. But it's just another thing that I have to go through. But that's totally personal preference. I can't really say it's a wrong or right thing in that one. Being a very popular camera ever since it came out, there's a lot of third-party accessories, including lenses and like stuff like grip and, you know, other cages and stuff like that. So you can find those easily online without, you know, you having to spend a genuine Sony, you know, accessories. So that's a good thing. One little note, they had a problem with the third-party battery where it indicates to use genuine Sony battery. I don't know if that was fixed or not. And for memory card, it actually had an error with certain memory card, but I know that was fixed on the last update, firmware update. The phone app, I'm not happy with it. I don't use it that often. I probably use it once in a while just to transfer some couple images off the camera. I don't think it's very reliable. It gets disconnected pretty easily, so I don't really use it that much. But you can try it. It may be my phone, but that's my experience with it. Yeah, so far it's great. It's probably more than what I need as a hobbyist, but for people who's planning on getting A7 III, I really recommend it. It can do everything, most of the things, I think, and it's solid. It's still one of the most selling mirrorless in the market, and you won't regret it. Yeah, so that's my thoughts. I know it wasn't a super thorough, you know, deep dive professional review, but it's just my thoughts on day-to-day usage. So if you guys have any comments or questions or thoughts on A7 III, please comment down below. And if you guys like this content, please give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more Sony A7 III content in the future. So until then, have a great guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.